What's going on YouTube? It's K-Dog. Welcome back to Johto Adventures. Today we're going to be going over my top 7 tips for new collectors or returning collectors to the Pokemon community. My very first tip for new collectors is going to be to identify what your why is. Whether it's investing, collecting, battling with your Pokemon cards, what exactly do you plan to do? What is your rationale? What is your reason for getting started with collecting Pokemon cards? So when it comes to that, regardless of whether you're going to be investing, whether you're going to be collecting, battling, mixture of all of these things, what exactly do you plan to collect? So specifically, if you're going to be investing in Pokemon cards, as far as like for financial gain, my first recommendation would be to identify what is going to be your best return on investment. What products are going to be probably best for you if you're going to be collecting. So I have very minimal experience overall, but as far as what I've been able to pick up in the last 2 months or so is the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes, your booster boxes, and your graded cards are going to be your best return on investment. They're probably going to be your best go-to if you're going to be investing in Pokemon cards and keeping sealed products in general. So the reason for that is the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes. As far as now, in the Scarlet and Violet era, we are looking at these Elite Trainer boxes as being a really good point of investment. The reason that I think that the Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer boxes are such a big deal in the Scarlet and Violet era specifically is because of what they come with. Now, obviously, when it comes to the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes, you do get additional packs, booster packs of Pokemon cards, but you also get a promo card with the Pokemon Center stamp on the promo card. This is probably going to be the closest thing that we will get as far as a similar item to what we've seen with the first generation stamps. So I think that if you've looked at any of these products, any of these Elite Trainer boxes, and looked at the promo card that comes with it with the stamp, you can see that these products are rising exponentially in value. Booster boxes are going to be really good for those that are looking to invest as well, because booster boxes contain the most cards for your dollar essentially. So you get 36 booster packs in a booster box. So when it breaks down to, if you are able to get a booster box for say $100 or $110, the amount of money that you're spending per booster pack is much less than what you're going to get for other retail products. So when it breaks down to, you're essentially getting each booster pack for roughly less than $3, give or take, depending on how much you're going to be spending per booster box. The next product that I would recommend for investors is going to be graded cards. Graded cards are really good if you know kind of the trends as far as market value, as far as how the market works. The reason for this is when it comes to graded cards, you're going to be looking for cards that are going to rise in value. So you're looking to find cards that are relatively inexpensive compared to what the potential that they have as far as down the road and in the future. So, if you take, for example, in the 151, if you were to have gotten, say, just a couple months ago, a graded Charizard, the main chase card, that Charizard or Sunzard, whatever you want to call it in that set, if you were to get a graded Gem Mint 10 on that card when it was significantly lower in price, and then compare that to today's value, that would have provided a really big return on investment overall, especially if you're talking about purchasing several copies, several grade 10 cards, if you will. So now going back to the alternative side of things, when it comes to collecting, what exactly are you collecting? When it comes to new collectors, take a deeper look at all the different things that you can do. Are you going to be collecting a master set? Are you going to be collecting a specific Pokemon trainer, a gym leader, or are you looking at specific artists? For example, my personal favorite artist is Shinji Kanda. As far as cards go, he has a number of really big cards, a lot of heavy hitters that I personally have been kind of chasing. The Giratina from the Lost Origin, as well as that Magikarp from the Paldea Evolved set. My second tip for new collectors is going to be to set a budget. Pokemon cards and Pokemon products, unfortunately, are not the cheapest items in the world. They do offer, a significant amount of fun. They offer a significant amount of return on investment if you're looking at it from that perspective. But unfortunately, they're not cheap. So it is very important to set a budget when you are, whether you're collecting or investing, because every few months you're going to be hit with a new release, a new item, a new set that's going to be coming out, and it's very easy to fall into the FOMO category. So that fear of missing out can really push you to continue to keep buying products that maybe you don't even need. Maybe they're really not giving you that why. They're not providing you that why. So, it's really important to make sure that you set a budget when you start collecting or investing. That way, down the road, you don't end up with significant buyer's remorse. Pokemon cards overall, they're going to provide a really good, satisfying feeling when it comes to purchasing these items. But, you can end up opening up an entire Elite Trainer box, an entire booster box, and not get any of the cards that you were actually chasing, any of the cards that you really wanted. And sometimes that can leave you with a really poor feeling. At the end of the day, these are just pieces of cardboard. So please remember that it's important to make sure that you do not put all of your execute in one basket. That actually leads us into our third tip, which is always look for a deal. That fear of missing out is such a big part of the Pokemon collecting experience. We all do it, we all have it, unfortunately. It is what essentially drives most of the market in terms of what is going to be considered high value, what is going to be considered value down the road. But, it's really important to remain calm. Know that if you do miss a specific set or you opt out of buying a specific product, there will be more product down the road. Pokemon is a huge company. They're always going to be creating and pushing new products that you're probably going to enjoy. So if you do miss out on a specific item, that's okay. But it's really important to always look for some type of a deal when it comes to both investing and collecting in Pokemon products. Because when it comes to finding deals for Pokemon cards, it is kind of detrimental when it comes to adding to your collection to make sure that you're not overspending. It goes back to our previous tip, which is to make sure you're setting a budget and sticking to your budget. Again, it's important to remain calm, wait for deals to pop up, and just know that when they do pop up, it can actually be more rewarding than just buying the product for full price. Personally, I actually like the hunt of collecting Pokemon cards and finding products just as much as chasing the cards themselves. When you're able to find good deals on cards, it actually allows you to then invest more money into Pokemon cards, into collecting, or if you want to spend your money on other things in life, like travel, for example. Tip number 4 kind of piggybacks off of tip number 3, and that is to know how to differentiate between a good deal and a good opportunity. Yes, you should look for deals, but also remember that there's going to inevitably be some cards, some sets that are worth more than others. So take, for example, 151, Evolving Skies, even this new set, Prismatic Evolutions. The hits are highly sought after and desirable amongst the Pokemon community, and I think that this tip specifically is somewhat more challenging, especially for new collectors. What I mean by this is it's sometimes really hard to identify when it's appropriate to go for a good, essentially, opportunity, if you will. The reason is you don't really know what the market trends are. You don't know what the trends are in collecting Pokemon entirely until you immerse yourself into the Pokemon collecting community. Now, speaking of some very highly sought after and desirable cards, it's important to always remember to protect your investment. Specifically for cards is to make sure you have card sleeves, top loaders, make sure you have a binder. When it comes to investing in your Elite Trainer boxes, as well as your booster boxes and some of those bigger boxes in general, make sure you have a really good area to store these. If you're putting these in your garage, more than likely, they're going to be exposed to elements. Extreme temperatures, including high heats or freezing temperatures, and or even getting direct sunlight and moisture. All of these things, all of these elements can actually affect and degrade your product. My sixth tip is a little bit more of a recommendation after some of my personal experiences, and that is to get involved in the community. For me personally, this is a big reason why I started collecting Pokemon cards again. After watching videos and seeing people at my local game shop, it pushed me to actually join because I wanted that sense of community. And that's actually another big reason why I started these YouTube videos, is so that I can share my collecting adventures with you guys. With that being said, I think it's really important to always remember to be kind to others starting off in their Pokemon collecting journey, whether they're collecting, they're investing, they're just ripping packs, whatever it may be. It's really important to make sure that you maintain that level and that sense of community. Just as an aside, being a part of this community has meant so much to me already, just being in the first couple months. I just want to thank all of those that have subscribed to the channel, those that are leaving comments, liking any of the videos, my shorts. I really appreciate all of your support. It goes a long way, not just for the channel, but also for me personally. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you. So that leads us to our last point, which probably goes unsaid, but that's make sure you're having fun, whether you're purely ripping packs or investing or a mixture of both. This hobby has so much to offer, and again, it's best to remember to have fun, take your time, and be thankful for even the small wins. Speaking of enjoying the small wins, I recently opened up a Galar Pal Mini Tin, and I opened up an alternate art Rayquaza V. Although it wasn't the Moonbryon or the biggest chase card to pull in the world, for me to get this card, it meant so much to me. And I just think that it's really important that you're remembering that even though it may not be the biggest chase card, some of these smaller cards can offer so much happiness and so much joy, whether it's you personally opening up these products, your kids, your family members, friends, whatever have you be. It's just important to remember to enjoy those small wins. If you want to see me opening up the Rayquaza V alternate art in my Tin Tower series, click over here and make sure to check out that video. If you guys enjoy the videos, make sure you're hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, stay tuned for more videos. Peace.